From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. Advocate is reporting the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday delivered a significant blow to transgender students in California, allowing parents challenging the state's school gender identity policies to enforce a lower court injunction that restricts student confidentiality while the case moves forward on appeal. In a douche move, the 18-page unsigned opinion in Mirabelli v. Bonta, the court vacated a Ninth Circuit order that had blocked a district court ruling against California officials, including Attorney General Rob Bonta. The justices concluded that parents objecting on religious grounds are likely to succeed on the merits of their claims under the First Amendment's Free Exercise Clause and the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause. What about the students' rights? What about them? I guess Justice Roberts has absolutely zero clue as to what students are going through, because he's ancient. The case centers on California guidance prohibiting school staff from telling parents if a student socially transitions at school, meaning they are adopting a different name or pronouns without the student's consent. Actually, it's the students that are consenting to the name and pronouns. It's the parents that don't have a goddamn clue. Okay? State officials say the policy shields students who may face rejection or harm at home. Opponents argue it unlawfully cuts parents out of consequential decisions about their children's mental health and upbringing. Well, maybe if the parents weren't such goddamn bigots, it wouldn't be a problem, would it? The policies at the heart of the dispute stem from Assembly Bill 1955, signed into law in 2024, which was designed to protect transgender and gender nonconforming youth by prohibiting schools from requiring educators to disclose a student's gender identity or pronouns to parents without the student's consent. Critics have labeled it forced outing. Those critics are right. It is forced outing. And the thing of it is, the Supreme Court just doesn't get it. Well, three of the justices do, but the other six, they're a little bit tone deaf. According to a recent GLAAD fact sheet, such policies run contrary to research showing transgender youth are at risk of extreme and harmful consequences like suicide, of outing students to non-affirming parents and environments, particularly when youth face familial rejection or violence after disclosure or homelessness. But the Supreme Court doesn't give a damn. Supporters of the law argue that such protections are life-saving for youth who might face rejection, abuse, or homelessness. Oh, there it is! If their gender identity were disclosed to unsupportive families, California officials have repeatedly insisted the parents retain the right to request access to education records under federal law, but that the state's non-disclosure law simply prevents compelled disclosure against a student's wishes. For LGBTQ plus advocates, the ruling revives a painful historical through line. The Los Angeles LGBT Center has traced today's forced outing efforts to earlier campaigns targeting LGBTQ plus people in schools, from 1978's failed Proposition 6, which sought to remove gay teachers under the banner of parental rights, to attempts in the 1990s and 2000s to require parental consent for students to join gay-straight alliances, effectively outing them. But what part of the gay-straight alliances means that straight students can't join them? Why would they be outed if they're straight? Because they're supportive? Anyway, advocates argue that such policies have long been used to sideline queer youth under the rhetoric of family control. Sounds more like total control. Even as schools became, for many students, the only affirming space in their lives. That's because bullshit artists like Chief Justice John Roberts and, Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett and Justice Uncle Ruckus and Justice Samuel Fly My Flag Upside Down Alito. Well, you see where this is going. That's the News Blast for this hour. We'll have part 2 this evening. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Apple TV, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.